Coming up on today's show, we go back to Tubi and take a deep dive into their new original film, Lowlifes.
Maybe we could just use your telephone?
We got gas, honey!
Stay tuned. Welcome to Scary World, where we walk you through the latest and greatest in the world of horror. I am your host, Arturo Padilla. For those of you just joining us, we have one major rule around here: no spoilers. Now that we got that out of the way, there are 5 categories: production, story, ensemble, horror, and legacy. Each category can score up to 2 points. Showtime! Per IMDb, the synopsis goes: the survival instincts of a road-tripping family are put to the test when they have no other choice but to stay the night at a remote homestead. First-time feature directors Tesh Gudikanda and Mitch Oliver do a solid job with this production. The movie looks good. It's shot well, it's composed well, it's lit well, and most importantly, it's edited well. The overall package is a success.
Something just doesn't feel right.
I get the distinct impression we're not wanted here.
So what you got in there anyway?
That's our business, none of yours.
Oh, he has a shotgun.
They make sure to not make any rash, artistic choices behind the camera, as we've seen with newcomers to the genre this year. That being said, I do wish they made the action sequences pop a little more. There is very good horror action here, and it should have had a little bit more of a vividness to it. But all that said, these guys just made sure the entire production was executed at a pro level. And that's all you can really ask for, especially from a streaming platform who produces movies at a consistent rate. This one is a hit for them, and I'm very glad that everything looks good, everything sounds good, and it is visually pleasing. And for all the hard work they were able to accomplish in this movie, they get a solid 1 for production. The story and the script was written by Al Kaplan, who previously scripted Zombieverse over a decade ago. In this story, Kaplan scripted a fun, lighthearted horror narrative. The story is paced well, with all the acts flowing and hitting the proper beats. The second act picks up the horror and the action and does not disappoint. It helps elevate this entire movie into a good third act. The third act takes the horror and the action to a peak with an ending that might polarize audiences. The story can get a little bit predictable throughout the second act, but it doesn't deter the entertainment of the movie. As a clever horror fan, we might just know exactly where this might be going. But that being said, I was still totally down. It was a very fun story to kind of stick with. It was simple, but it still had its complexities, which I definitely appreciated. And for the entertaining and captivating story that we got, this movie deserves a solid 1 for story. I think if they would have maybe not telegraphed certain things in terms of tropes and stuff like that, it would have made this a little bit more of a successful story. But I think it was a success in terms of what they were able to accomplish. They didn't overcomplicate things. They could have too. A lot of movies try to overcomplicate things for people, and that's where the faults come. So I do appreciate the fact that they kept it simple for the audience and they kept it going, they kept it moving. And for that, they deserve this 1 for story. The entire cast did a solid job with their respective roles. You get some cookie cutter characters that are able to break their mold, which really help elevate this story. I really enjoyed all the performances. The actors involved all knew the mission and they were able to successfully flesh out the complexity of these characters.
Boom!
Pretty pink, Dad.
That's right. Never disrespect a good piece of meat by cooking it to death.
Brianna Llewellyn, specifically, who portrays Savannah, stands out from the pack and does a great job with her role. She's able to actually anchor this movie throughout the second act and into the third act, and she does a great job with her character. She does a great job making sure that her character stays natural and grounded, and that's what's very charming about her performance, actually. It's very captivating. I really enjoyed how she was able to portray that character and really help us relate to that character and stay grounded with her. There are a bunch of characters in this movie, and they are all able to play well off each other. They have good dynamics, good chemistry, they have good dialogue delivery, and they're able to really gel and make this movie a nice cohesive watch.
No kidding.
Your time's great, though. Plenty of hot food ready. You just make yourselves at home.
Thank you very much.
I really enjoyed all of the performances, as I said earlier, and it really helped make this movie a success. This is one of the highlights of this movie and really make this thing really watchable. And for the very solid cast and the very fun characters that we get here and how they all gel together and how I enjoyed all their performances, this movie scores a full 2 for Ensemble. There was enough blood and gore in this movie to satisfy any horror fan. Everything in this movie is practical and it really helps this movie shine. The filmmakers knew exactly where to put the bulk of their budget, and it pays off. We get gorgeous kills, body parts, plenty of stabbings, and a bunch of beautiful red. And folks, everything looks very, very good on camera. The practical stuff really helps this production shine and really makes this movie stand out on the platform of Tubi itself, because of how everything looks and how it was treated in the category here that we're talking about. The blood, the gore, the kills, all that stuff is very fun. It looks very good on camera. They shoot it very well. I said before in the production segment that I do wish they made some of the kills pop. Because we get such a handful of kills, I think they should have done something a little bit extra with those scenes. Everything was so kind of just standard by the book, not plain per se, or boring, but just no flair is really what I want to say about that. But the kills deserved that pop. They were so good. Some of them were just so surprising. They made you just kind of jump out of your seat sometimes because you didn't expect it. They did a great job with this. As I mentioned, there's a bunch of stabbings here and they all look very good. You feel the weight of the punctures. It is very fun, especially as a horror fan like myself and as you all, obviously. It is fun to watch a movie that gets it, you know? A movie that understands that, hey, you know, we might not have the money of Hollywood here, but we understand how to really make a good horror movie. And for the practical stuff, and the blood, and the gore, and the body parts, there's plenty of body parts, folks, you're gonna enjoy that one. And the killings, and the stabbings, and the fun that I had with this movie. This gets the full score of a 2 for horror. You're gonna enjoy it, folks, trust me. I had a good time with this movie. It was surprisingly entertaining, and I was captivated from the first scene. This movie revs it up. Within the first maybe 30 seconds, you will know what you are dealing with here, and that is why I was like, you know what, let me strap in, I'm in it to win it. This story was fun, and not as simple as expected, and most importantly, we get some awesome practical effects in this movie that really help bring this thing way up to levels where you're like, damn, that was a good movie. And again, it's a Tubi original film. This platform gets a lot of guff for having movies that are really subpar. And yes, that is absolutely true. Do not get me wrong. I'm not saying everything is gold on there. But in terms of horror, in my opinion, they have been cranking out some really solid films. And other platforms like Netflix, for example, who were once at the top of the game because they were the only one in the game, their horror selection, their original horror selection has really dwindled throughout the years. And I'm really glad that we have a platform like Tubi that's absolutely free and you can watch anywhere on any device. And you can watch movies like this, like Lowlifes and Festival of the Living Dead. But Lowlifes is a really good movie, and I highly recommend you guys check that out on Tubi. So to tally it all up, Lowlifes received a 1 for production, a 1 for story, a 2 for ensemble, 2 for horror, and a 2 for legacy, bringing its total score up to 8. As I said before, if you haven't checked out Tubi, I think you should give it a chance. This thing is filled with hidden gems here and there. Yes, you have to kind of sift through a bunch of stuff. It is like gold mining, and when you do find that nugget, like Lowlifes, and like Festival of the Living Dead, it is very, very freaking sweet, man, because those nuggets are legit gold. This is a good movie, folks. Go to Tubi and go check out Lowlifes now.
Can you tell me what time it is?
And that's a wrap, folks. Thank you for watching Scary World. Don't forget to drop a comment down below and hit the thumbs up on the video. But most importantly, do not forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Tell all your friends, all your family, and all their pets and your pets to come on down to YouTube and subscribe to CorpseFeed. We have spoiler-free horror movie reviews for you guys dropping every Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. And we also have the CorpseFeed official podcast, The Morgue, dropping every Tuesday wherever you get your podcasts. We are also on every social platform out there. Please like, subscribe, and share. And again, do not forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, folks. That is very important. That's where you see me and where you see The Morgue and everything corpse related. We will see you on Friday for another episode. And remember, it's a scary world out there, but we are here to walk you through it.